Good morning. This is a totally spontaneous live stream here today because I have no idea what I'm doing. I am just playing. I'm feeling sluggish this morning for some reason, and sometimes you guys cut it out, the cats. Sometimes it helps to just get my stuff out and play. So this is what I'm doing here. I decided that I wanted to use some of my glass pieces. I have tons of stained glass leftover scraps from when I did mosaics years ago. So I'm using some of those little glass pieces, and also I've got these canvas pieces that when I'm doing the cutouts, I've got all these canvas here. So what I did was I got the canvas out and I just, let me find a smaller piece of it, spread it with my texture paste here. And what I'm doing with this is I'm just mixing that almond flour. That's what I had and I didn't like it, so I'm mixing that with the light molding paste to get a thicker texture paste here. So I'm doing that over here to the side. And I don't know where I'm going with this. I may end up cutting some pieces out of this at some point, but right now all I'm doing is just opening my mind up and just creating without absolutely any end goal inside here. And that's the kind of thing I do when I'm just feeling burned out or bummed out or just whatever, sluggish. So anyway, okay, so I've got this little piece here. I've got some of my texture paste with the light molding paste with the almond flour in it. I'm just spreading it over that piece. Lift it up with my palette knife here, and then I can kind of scoosh it on down here. Can you see that? Oh, hold on. Scoot this down. There we go. I'm over here now. Use some of my texture paste to just kind of glue it down to the canvas here. All I'm doing is just working with these textures. What I did with the glass was I mixed it a little bit thicker and I just shoved the glass down into it. Now I've done this with glass on a canvas before, and it's kind of cool. I mean, it usually stays pretty well. If I get my canvas really, really wet, the glass may come out, but what happens is the molding paste dries, so the indentation where the glass was still remains in there even if it comes loose. So what I can do, if it does come loose, I can put a little glue in there, or a little varnish or whatever, and then put the glass back into there, and it's not a big deal. Okay, finding another small piece of canvas pieces. Just smishing it down there. Very textural. I mean, this is definitely a relief, low relief. But I've not done this before. I have not used the cut canvas pieces before on here, so this is totally experimental, and we'll see where we go with this. I am going to just put some more paste on here. See that. Another thing I do when I'm just feeling kind of blah when it comes to creating is just to create materials that I can use at some point. And that way I always have materials on hand. I'm never short of stuff. Okay. Okay, I'm going to leave that with a really, you can see that high relief there. This is sticking up really well. I'll play with putting some texture with my end of my brush. I dip it in water. I can make some holes in there. Keep dipping it in water. That piece right there. That make sure my ends of my canvas are covered up. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sick of summer. It is so hot here. Not as hot, I guess, as it is in some other places. I was reading this morning in the news that it got in Death Valley. They said they saw temperatures of 130 degrees. It got to, I guess, 107, 108 here a few days ago, and that was about 20 degrees too hot for me, but I'm mushy. No, hey, get down. Mush, 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 mush. Get down. Get down, buddy. Get down. Ugh. But here, garden's dying. I can't even pretend to be keeping things alive anymore out there. Which means we're stuck inside, so I don't know what you guys are doing while you're stuck inside, but we are working on the inside of the house. We moved here about, not a year and a half ago. It was a year in maybe April. So we pretty much concentrated on the exterior of the house. So now we're kind of going back and playing and doing some stuff inside, and it's an absolute wreck in there. Total and complete chaos. Okay, let's see what's going on here with this. Okay. All right, now let's see. What am I going to do next? I think I'm going to get some crackle paste. And I have some here. And I'm going to crackle. As long as I stay away from this that's wet, I will be okay here. If I try to put crackle paste on stuff that's wet, it's not going to work very well at all. So I'm just gonna play here. Get the cat fur off. Spread it on here. See what I come up with. Now I know that I can, if I want to cut this, I know that I can come back when I'm done with the whole piece, and I can come back and cut with the razor blade if I want to. It's a little more challenging to do just because, you know, it's tougher with all the stuff on there, but when you do that, you don't have to worry about your canvas folding either direction, because it's got so much stuff on it, it's not going anywhere. I'm not thinking as I do this, I'm just putting this stuff down. I find that applying my textures takes much less concentration than applying color. I have to think about what I'm doing when I'm putting my colors down. When I'm doing my texture, I just play. Now, the thicker I apply this crackle paste. This is Golden brand. The thicker I apply it, the bigger the crackles are going to be. The only downside to that is the thicker the crackles, the easier it is for those crackle pieces to pop off if you get your canvas really wet. I've been known to just glue them back on there. It doesn't matter to me. Or just leave it. I like spirals. I like curves. I'm not a linear person. Straight lines don't do it for me. Kind of pull the top off this ridge here a little bit. Interesting. Who knows what it's going to look like when it's done, but hey, it's kind of cool at the moment. This one here. Now, as I said, applying it over something's wet, so I'm probably not going to have a very good luck in here, but you know, what the heck. Okay. All right, there's lots of space with no texture on here, but as I'm working with so much wet, I need to let this dry before I go on. I'm just going to flatten these hills out a little bit here. And, you know what I can do in this? I can put some of those balls in there, you know, those art stones that I got. And I've got the small and the medium. There's a small, medium, and large. Also, PowerTex makes the 3D balls. Basic, from what I can see, they're the same thing. I mean, what do I know? But and then I've got these glass beads. These are the Matisse dry medium. These are the 0.8 millimeter. And then I've got also the 1.5 milliliter, so this millimeter, so these are bigger. So I put the big ones on first. This is what I enjoy doing when I do this. It's just I have no goal inside. I'm just laying texture down. And so my challenge is when this stuff dries, I've got to make something with this canvas. And sometimes that's what I need, is a little bit of a challenge. I get bored easily, so I need to have things that are constantly changing. Okay, let's see here. Like picking cat here. This is the medium art stones. Don't need to have a lot of them. I love these things, just love them. And how about a few of the large? And this is the small, the PowerTex, the small ones, which are almost like sand. Okay. Now a lot of this isn't going to stick. I mean, it's just not. So sometimes I take, find a palette knife. Hold on. I take my palette knife and I just kind of press down. Especially on the large ones, just to make sure I get some contact in there. Now I've not really done this adding it over crackle paste before, so I have no idea if this is gonna stick, if this is gonna what. Mushi! Hold on, I gotta go kick the cat. Mushito. Mushi, stop it. Leave her alone. Bad kitty. Oh my God. I wouldn't really kick the cat, but I would spank his rear end there. He likes to attack his sister. I've got one of my cats, Trixie, the one you never see, is formerly feral, and she is at the bottom of the pecking order with the cats. I mean, she's the one that gets picked on. Bless her heart. And all she was doing was like laying in the window, being a sweet kitty, and Mushi gets up there and just goes and chomping on her back. Cats. Love them. They kick my butt sometimes. Okay, so here we are with this so far. Once this dries, I have no idea what I'm going to do. We'll see how this works out with the canvas here. If I need to come back in and add any more support with the glass pieces, who knows? So we're going to put that aside. I'm going to show you the trees that I'm working on. This is just, I cut them, and there's just going to be the two canvases, and this is just the first layer of paint on here. So I don't know where I'm going with this. I think I want to use some blues in there. This is still wet, so I'm letting this alone until it dries, but I did add a lot of texture in here. I used the Matisse balls in here, and the art stones in here. I got some of the texture paste and put that on first. Then I've added crackle paste on top of that. So it's really, really textural. Gives a lot of space for the paint to sink down in there. On this bottom one, I have to remember, I always forget this, that the fact that they're stacked, so I don't want to have a really heavy texture on the outside anywhere that's going to be stacked on. But I used a lighter texture on this with the thinking that, perspective-wise, things that are farther away from us are going to appear not only lighter in color, but you're going to see less of the textures of it. So I want my heavy texture to be on the piece that is closest to me to make it look even better. And hopefully I can find something to put behind the back of it. I am finding my challenge with the 14 by 14 inch that I love to do is that I can't find a 14 by 14 inch canvas panel. I can't find a 14 by 14 inch balsa wood panel. So I'm going to be challenged with how I finish off the back of those. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do on that, but I'll figure something out. So this is what I'm working on. I'll show you a couple things that I did. And these are 14 by 14 inches. So I've got these really heavy texture here. This has got the texture paste, the molding paste with the almond flour in there. It's got Tyvek on here. We've got some of that cool fabric. It's got crackle paste. It's got all the little balls going on in there. And I know I'm going to stack these, and then I thought, foolishly, when I did this other one, Home Depot cuts out panels from whole pieces. Will they cut those smaller ones? That's an idea. I could do that. Thanks, Jill. I made this one thinking, oh, I'm just going to stack these things on top of each other. Well, I can't do that because there's so much texture around the edges. I can't stack those. So this is that organza. I think that's what this is. Silk organza, maybe? I don't know. It torches. And so I glued that on there. And again, there's Tyvek and the molding paste and the balls. So what's going to happen is that's going to end up being two separate pieces. And then I did a back with this just for texture again, for a different one. And then I've got, hold on. starting on this one. And what I did, in order to put this paste down on there to make it easier to work with, I stuffed a 12 by 12 panel in the back, and that gives me a solid surface to work on. I don't have to worry about stretching out the canvas by pushing on. So this is going to end up being the middle panel, and eventually I guess there will be 2 complete pieces there. And let's see what else. I think I showed you guys this already. I forgot. I really wanted to do a big one. And forgetting that on the 18 by 24 it has this panel here. I mean this wood support, which it needs. So I don't know, it kind of makes it look like a butterfly. And if I had thought more about it, and had I been planning, which I don't do, I could have done something cool. I could have done a butterfly in there. So I may try that for something later. Then I did this one, which is going to be the bottom of it. And I cut these pieces out here. And there was another one going in the middle here. And I had these stacked on the floor, leaning against something on the floor. And I stepped back on that and tore the piece. So I just cut it out. And I've added again, and this is some of the flour and actually this is the light molding paste with just some beads. Some like sequin beads kind of things, and I just mixed in there, threw it on there. So I don't know where I'm going with this. I have no idea, but all this stuff is in progress. I like to work like this because when I get bored, then I can just pick up and work on what I want to work on. And there's always something here. I have a rolling cart that has, oh my God, who knows how many pieces on there that I may have a bottom layer on. I may have, who knows what I've got on there. And when I get bored, I just grab something. So anyway, this was just a spontaneous session for you this morning to see what I was working on. And I will see you on Thursday at our regular time at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time in the afternoon. And I encourage you guys to check out Lynn Looney's paint sessions, and she always posts them on Juju's too. So check out her abstract painting session. She's such a talented artist. I so admire her. Check those out. All right, I guess I'm good to go for today, and I will see you guys Thursday. Bye.